Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Blast of Silence, 1961. Low budget noir on Criterion Collections, Universal Pictures. Yeah, I had a feeling this was going to be a good one going in. Man, this is like Z grade, black and white, bleak, troublesome look behind what goes into the head of a hitman. Of course, it's got the immortal Larry Tucker, who is also in Angels Hard as They Come and Shock Corridor, of course, which is the greatest scene in Shock Corridors with Larry Tucker in the insane asylum. He plays another crazy guy in this one. So, man, nothing left in this thing. Oh, yeah, the guy Larry Tucker keeps rats in his apartment, and he's pretty slime ball looking with his gut hanging out, his sweaty beard, and running guns to the mob with silencers and whatnot. It's pretty cool flick. A lot of plot twists and surprises. It's about a hitman in Cleveland, or from Cleveland. Um, Forget his name. I think his name is Frankie Boy Bono or something. Professional assassin for the mob. So I guess he had a rough life. He came out of his mother's womb all by himself, and he ended up in an orphanage, some Catholic orphanage, which he hated. He met some girl there, love interest. Forget her name, but yeah, he's in New York area to put a hit on this ambitious Harlem guy. It's kind of like a prequel to the Black Godfather, only it's white on white violence kind of thing, mob violence. Yeah, so there's this hitman. He goes to Brooklyn, then he's in Staten Island. See him walking around New York City. He ends up in Harlem, I guess, which is where the ambitious syndicate leader is walking around with his bodyguards and whatnot. Lives in a nice suburban neighborhood. So the hitman's following him around. Finally, he figures out that the guy has little side business going on with Dame in an apartment, and he's all alone. He leaves his bodyguards in the car, so this is the perfect place to hit him. Meanwhile, he bumps into this dude from the orphanage who happens to be walking around this girl who had a crush on him in the orphanage, I guess. So he goes to her party on Christmas Eve. He's bored. He's sitting around. She feels sorry for him. She wants to dance with him, and then he takes advantage of her. Like he almost rapes her, even though she's got a secret boyfriend, I guess, or she decides to choose somebody else, basically. I guess that's how it works out. So he gets all pissed. Meanwhile, the Larry Tucker character is supposed to be selling this 38 silencer to the hitman. You notice him going into some beatnik bar and scoping out the target there because I guess that's a popular place for him to go with his girlfriend. So the two of them just happen to be there, and so Fatty follows him into the men's room. There starts threatening blackmail or whatever, and so the hitman proceeds to strangle the fat dude. There's a lot of really brutal on-screen violence and gore in this. Quite surprising, actually. And then he gets all worried. He wants to back out of the hit job on that syndicate guy in Harlem because the newspapers are all over the story. It's in the headlines that they're looking for him. So he makes the fatal mistake of calling up his mafia superiors and asking to back out of the contract. He's in big trouble, not only with trying to hide from the police, but also now he's in trouble with the mob for even thinking about backing out on the hit on this syndicate guy. So he carefully plans the perfect hit, and everything goes well. And there's a pretty cool ending. I mean, yeah, I thought it was good. I guess I give it 4.5 stars out of 5. It's a little slow at times, but it's definitely worth watching. It's not one of the better noirs out there, but it's got that low budget kind of grimy feel. Yeah, it's kind of cool seeing the ghettos and the city. It's really dark and bleak kind of cinematography. So I guess I could bump it up to 5 stars for the cinematography, but storyline I give 4.5 stars, and yeah, overall I give it 5 stars, I guess. Now that I come to think of it, sort of grows on you. And the weird part is that it's mostly narration. I mean, there's very little dialogue in this. And the narration sounds like a mob guy, the Brooklyn accent, which is kind of interesting. I guess the narration is supposed to be Frankie Boy Bono talking about, or just thinking out loud, I guess. The narration is supposed to be the inside of Frankie Boy Bono's mind while he's thinking all these terrible things. Yeah, he's like Mr. Hyde, the embodiment of pure evil. So it was kind of cool to get that narration take on his inner thoughts, what's going on inside the mind of a hitman, so to speak. That was kind of an interesting technique. I'd never seen that before, and the narration is really, they lay it on thick too. It's probably most of the talking in the movie is the guy thinking aloud. So pretty cool. 1 hour 17 minutes, not too long, but yeah, it kind of drags on for a while. you get a lot of shots of him walking around the city. But on the other hand, they play a lot of cool early '60s type music, jazz type music. Kind of fits the era for that time. Well, at least the black and white noir pictures, anyway. So yeah, it's kind of like a hidden gem type thing. I guess that's why it's on Criterion Collection. It's got the Samuel Fuller type feel to it. I guess Godard tried to rip it off, but for some reason I always like the U.S. versions better than the French version. So, anyways, I couldn't really find anything wrong with this movie. There's a lot of shots of him just walking around with the music in the background, but it's kind of cool looking, anyways. Really dark and bleak, so that doesn't in any way distract from the movie, the lack of dialogue or anything. Looks like they probably shot it pretty quick, like within a few weeks or something. And a lot of the shots are of Christmas things going on. This takes place during Christmas season, so there's a lot of Santa Claus and some Christmas carolers. People looking inside windows at all the Christmas junk that people buy back in 1961. So yeah, there's that too. I don't know. When I first started seeing shots of Brooklyn, I thought about my Jewish president of the company who used to live there. Yeah, there must be a lot of good delis around there. But in any case, cool flick. It's kind of like a time capsule of the mob right around the time when Kennedy was going after them, which is not really a function of the federal government, but hey, I guess maybe Kennedy got knocked off by the mob if he was pissing them off, kind of like this guy, doing things to piss them off. So, anyways, I guess loyalty is a big deal with the mob in this one. You got to stay focused and do your job, fulfill the contract. Otherwise, they don't like you, I guess. You're kind of a loser anyway because you can't find a girlfriend. You're constantly alone. Sort of like me after my divorce. But yeah, that part is kind of reminds me of not being able to come home to a woman. They really harp on that in this one. So there's that also. He's kind of a loner and kind of lives in his own world. Can't even get along with his mafia bosses, so shows how antisocial the guy is. He hates Christmas, and all he thinks about is being alone. He prefers it that way, even though he has a little bit of a flashback on maybe high school crush or something. That he kind of veers off in that direction, but even when he does, he still fails. So he's he's just a total loser and evil guy. And I guess the whole point of the movie is to find out what's going inside his mind while he's doing all these bad things. So, pretty cool flick. Yeah, definitely check it out later.